All right, thanks for listening to this episode of Twos and a Face Wrestling podcast. On this episode, Chris is indisposed for the moment. He should be joining us in a second. Last week we had on this man's rival. We had on Steve from Warrior Wrestling on the podcast. Now we got to talk to the rival only in a joking sense between these two individuals. But we have Trent Zuberi. Now ring announcer, at least sub fill-in for AAW plus producer and many other things. Trent, man, it's been too long. How have you been?
Way too long. I felt really behind on competing with Steve, I'm sure, at this point. I'm sure Steve is at, 39 appearances?
And a half, 39 and a half.
Yeah, I'm definitely behind. But I'm edging towards that title again, Steve. Don't worry. We were neck and neck for a while. You remember that, Charlie? We were just like 1-1 for a bit. And then it just I don't know, man. It's unfair advantage with Steve, though, because he started doing like a preview pod and then like a post-show pod and then it's like, hey, I'm going to hang out with you guys. But I'm like, that's not fair. You can't have three a month here. That doesn't work out, man.
Yeah. So, we just need to talk more. I think that's what it's saying.
I think so.
But I mean, there is no such thing as consistency or frequency or like any sort of rhythm last year. Now, it being May, we have a little bit of a rhythm. You guys have probably, I would say, out of any Chicagoland promotion, and we don't like to compare too much because everyone's good at their own thing, I think, and you guys have your own flavor compared to others.
Yeah.
But I think you guys have been in the most rhythm. You've adopted like a taping strategy.
Yeah.
And that seems to be like you're able to just pump out a lot, whereas everyone's kind of either starting or like getting kind of like ramping up that momentum. So I think that's really cool. Talk about Alive. I know you in the past it was used a little bit different than it is now, right?
Right.
Okay.
So Alive, it's TV tapings, right? It's old school studio television style, NWA style TV tapings. When we started Alive, it was the fall of 20, which was, a very still questionable time in the world, right? So we were just kind of like, okay, Alive was a great name to call the show as far as like, hey, we're alive, things are coming, things are going, things are moving along. We scheduled 3 shows. It was like October 2nd, 30th, or 29th, and like November 15th. And there was a December date too, but then that got canceled because everything shut back down. So we had like limited capacity in October. We did like 50 people. Like it was basically our season ticket holders. It was kind of a, hey, thanks for hanging out with us kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we did that for those 3 shows. Then December, everything shut back down. So we couldn't go back to that. And then as soon as obviously things started opening up again, we got the clearance to come back to basically one of our homes, Bourbon Street. And so we adopted the idea that as soon as we also got confirmation from Bourbon that we can do like a main show, and we also got our clearance with Fight TV and everything for the initial one that was May 7th for Take No Prisoners, we said, okay, let's adopt Alive as a TV taping format.
Right.
So we started doing block TV tapings, and what we would do is, I think our first one was April 3rd. So we did this on April 3rd. We taped 3 shows. The first one aired live on Twitch, so it's direct live reaction. The other 2 were canned for April 10th and then 17th.
Okay.
And then April 24th, we got back in, taped 3 more shows to lead up to Take No Prisoners. So it's kind of cool because it really was like TV taping style. It was like, maybe it felt, I don't say big time, but it really felt cool because we were busy. Like we had all this stuff happening all the time. Like there was a show every week, and it's like that's kind of cool, So after being off for so long, so that on top of the fact that you guys probably seen it, the amount of new talent we started showcasing has been like ridiculous. It's talent that people haven't heard of, a lot of unknown to the area talent, diamonds in the rough, new finds, which is something Danny has always been a master of, is just finding those new talents. This is the guy who discovered Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? Like, this is the guy who trained Seth Rollins. So I always give him that credit. I know he's going to hate. Yeah, he would hate me giving that kind of distinction, but it's like that's the truth, though.
Yeah.
Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, ACH, I mean, all these guys that he gave such a platform to prior, in AAW that really didn't have a name prior to AAW, like a lot of these guys, I mean, the besties, Silas Young, I mean, the list goes on and on, I mean, really, like there's so many names that have come through AAW. Ruby Riot, that's another one, I think about the people on the banner, like on the big banners we have, Ruby Riot, it's like all these big stars who are Samurai Del Sol, who, Kalisto, like all these guys who we gave a platform to. So he's always good at like finding those people, like, who's the next guy.
Yeah.
So we started featuring a ton of that because on top of which the thing was budget is lower, right? So you don't have that big budget to fly big names in as much. You have to limit that.
Sure.
So we're like, okay, who's drivable? Who's in the area? Who can we find, man? So it was I mean, for me as a producer, for Danny as a booker, for Mike as a producer, Keith, it's like the thrill is like all these new names. It's like, man, these are all moldable names, to be our guys. And it's been so much fun to learn new personalities, new people, meet new people. You feel that excitement from them that somebody's giving them a platform on a bigger scale, because you guys see it at AAW Pro. Like it's full media blitz, right? We do films, we do documentaries, we do highlight packages, photos are on everything. Like we release photo blocks of every match, animated GIFs. Like we try to blitz just stuff at you.
Promos in between matches on the screen.
It was just so rare, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are big.
A lot of it's a thing that you don't really notice that a lot of other companies don't do until it hits you.
Yeah, and it blows my mind. It's like, take the time to do it. And I like that it sets us apart. That's our thing, and I don't think anybody can touch our production and our producers when it comes to character building. But to me, that's our biggest strength is we develop characters, and those promos you see in between matches is a result of our producers, and like myself and Keith and Mike Petkovich, like working with these guys. We all have our assigned squads, and like, okay, I mean, we run a ship like.
Right.
Who does what. And we really just, our focus is like develop these guys, because the more valuable they are as characters, the more it builds the promotion, builds them. It's all a domino effect.
It's almost like agenting.
Yeah, basically what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what it is. I mean, we're assigned to certain people, and our job is to get that message across.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed that the roster we put together in this new rebuild roster.
I was going to use that. So I was going to use that word. I was going to say, would you say that AEW is in a bit of rebuild? Because your core, you can pick out your core. Because I watched Take No Prisoners, and we can get into a little bit of highlights from that. But I was like, okay, I know what the core is. And you were saying like a lot of stuff is happening. And the way that I know that is because we get tagged in all your stuff, which I appreciate. But it's like when I go to check our Twitter account and there's like 70 plus notifications, I was like, okay, AEW probably tagged us in some stuff, or like someone tagged us somewhere. Like that's not us. Yeah, that's not us just getting 70 individual tweets. But and then like we go through and retweet. Yeah. But I was gonna say, so rebuild, you can kind of pick out who your core is, and you would use that phrase then, right? In a good sense, obviously.
In a good way, yeah. I mean, we suffered the fate of a lot of the big indies, right? Where we got picked apart by, I mean, there's AEW who is taking a lot of people away from the indies. WWE was already doing that. AEW comes in with their stuff, and they're just, they're picking them off, right? And it's like, how do you keep up with this? Fortunately, with AEW, their guys do get to work house shows.
Yeah,
at least their exterior group. I mean, their core they keep pretty tight, but they use a lot of guys,
Yeah.
So the good thing is we have our core. A lot of our people got taken up to WWE and whatnot, AEW as well. So our focus is, okay, we have to rebuild. We have a core: Mance Warner, Freddie Yehai, ACH is back, the Besties. These guys are back, and they're in the saddle, man. I mean, Gringo Loco is a big regular now again, which is great. Bringing that Lucha invasion, to AEW, which is awesome. But you have to rebuild. I mean, the idea is you at one point, all the indies couldn't replenish quick enough. And it reminded me so much of 2010 and 11, which were very, very dark years for the indies. Like if anybody remembers like 2010, 11, 12, everybody, I mean, if you look back and see who got signed around that time, it was like decimated. I mean, salt the earth, like nothing's gonna grow again, kind of like nothing
Okay.
was left, right?
That
And
was
for a
before I
while,
got back into wrestling. So
okay. If
yeah.
you ever go back and just look and like, man,
Mhm.
really like everything got decimated around this time, and you had like some gems people were hanging on to, but it was getting scooped up by like TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE at the time.
Okay.
And it was really tough. So it reminded me of that for like 2019 going into 20. I'm like, shit. And if you remember, our last show before the shutdown was the Art of War 2020. We had a whole different look, dark in the arena, new lighting, whole
Hmm.
new roster, right? And I was like, man, we finally like we got our this is the new look. Like this is it. And we got rolling again. Things got shut down. People got signed away in the meantime.
Yeah.
So we had to restart again. So it's like, okay, let's find who's next. And we're very fortunate we have partnerships, with the Black and Brave school. I mean, the connection we have to Seth Rollins and Tyler Black and Merrick Brave with the Black and Brave kids. I mean, that's family to us.
Yeah.
They train. That's Danny's. I mean, it is the circle of life, right? Danny trained Merrick and Tyler, and now Tyler and Merrick train people at Black and Brave, and they trust us to feature their guys. We get the
Yeah.
first crack at, okay, let's see what we can do with these guys. And I
Yeah.
love that. And that's how our family works, and it's awesome. So we get to do that, and we get to um, see what we can do with these young kids who are willing, able, eager to build something, man. So it's been a
Hmm.
lot of fun.
Was splitting up the besties was that kind of a we need more, like you put them together and obviously they're the most story tag team I think you guys have at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You split them up though and you can create more core guys in singles competition. Was that the thinking behind it, to like bolster kind of those core singles guys, or no, or am I
They
wrong there?
absolutely hate each other. I'm just kidding. They just
They
hate each other.
have, the best part about them is they have so much history
They do.
and they reference it in promos.
Yeah.
So it just feels, it's almost like I'm kind of comparing this to like I just recently in this past winter, I caught up on all like the Marvel stuff, the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about that whole saga, and it's continuing, is you have continuous plot threads that are referenced throughout and they
I love
affect the
that.
future,
Yeah.
and it's like a butterfly effect. So that's the coolest thing about the besties, is because like Vega hinting at splitting up, he's capable of it, and then they reference Scarlet like tearing them apart, and it's just like these guys have so much history and they
Yeah.
keep like building on it. It's like almost like a never ending story.
I love that part
Those
of it.
two.
My favorite part of this whole thing is recently how because Fitchett wants to hold a singles belt,
Okay.
and if you remember, Vega was a Heritage Champion for 3 weeks back like 10 years ago, and he
Yeah.
and he likes to remind Fitchett, like, hey man, listen, as a former Heritage Champion, let me tell you how you really got to go about singles style,
So Vega.
and it's such a Vega thing.
Yeah.
And I love that because I'm like, what a prick, because Fitchett's just like, what the fuck, but no, it adds dimension to them because
Yeah.
you can get complacent, right, in a tag team
Okay.
for that long when you're constantly being successful. um I would imagine every tag team wrestler is lying if they say they never wanted to break out into a singles role, even just to test themselves. And part of
Mm-hmm.
it is that, right? And they've been singles prior, but man, they've been a tag team for a long time. And if you watch now, it's like, to me, ACH and Vega had a match in Taking No Prisoners that blew me away. Because I never, I mean, Vega's not some technical wizard, but man, it was my favorite Davey Vega match. I'm like, this is the best match I've ever think he's wrestled. And I was like, you forget that he's capable of doing that. Fitchett has
That's
blown
true.
my mind. Like Fitchett's match against Myron Reed, people are saying stole the show at Take No Prisoners.
Yeah. Oh, we have a run in. I
Run in.
think from Chris.
Oh, look at this! Look at this
Yo.
fancy office. Is this
Yeah.
this a green screen? Tell me,
No,
is
that's
it-
a green screen.
that
Maybe it's
looks
not.
so clean.
Protect the business, brother. Protect the biz.
So
Right,
clean.
protect the biz.
What up, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's
What's going
up?
on, man? How many kids do you have now? 12? What's going on in
Yeah,
that household?
17, 24.
You know, it runs in the blood.
He got married. There's another kid. The Two Heels and a Face wrestling podcast has very much expanded on the extended family.
Well, with the lockdown, we're just like, I guess we might as well. Chris is like,
Two
I guess
heels.
we might as well, you know.
It's like Two Heels
Do
and a
the
family.
dirty.
You know? That's what this is.
Once UCL comes on the podcast, then it'll be
It's inevitable.
the family aspect, you know. She'll make her debut.
For sure.
Chris, thanks for joining us. You're only a little bit late, like 10 minutes later than you said you were gonna be. I'm just giving you shit. But no, it's good.
It is what it is.
So come on, I'm trying to have like 38 more appearances to beat Steve, and I can't have this. I can't be slacking on this.
It's right down the middle, right? Because
No, absolutely
our
not.
last episode, it was with Steve. We talked about Warrior and the upcoming shows, and now we're talking about AAW upcoming shows with Trent.
Just dueling
So,
it out, man.
I don't
Just
think
battling it out.
I don't think you're even. I did make I gotta go back and look at my Google Drive because I did make a note. I think the date and maybe like what the count was, so I could just count from there. And I don't think I don't think you're buried, but I think you're behind. So there's
I'm
a
way
little bit of
behind.
ground.
I know that for
Yeah.
sure. Chris, I was telling Charlie that it wasn't fair when Steve would get a preview episode, a post-show episode, and then hey, I'm just hanging out with you episode. That's how I got screwed on this whole thing. I can't be mad at him though. The guy, I mean, he's an ordained like priest, right? Like he's a man of the cloth. I can't be mean here. This is the man of God.
He's a head honcho. Is Yitzel making her podcast run-in debut right now?
Yep, she's here.
What does she wanna
Clothesline
say?
now.
You want to say hi?
Oh, yeah, but I can't hear properly.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
look who it is.
I'm
How
in
is
the
this-
background.
How has the Zooming been? Or not the Zooming, the Twitching. They Twitch together. A family that
really?
Twitches together stays together.
Yeah, we've tried twitching
got
a couple
my-
times. Here, you can hear. So if I even got her hooked up with a splitter, so she can hear you now.
Oh,
Hi,
very cool.
Yitzel.
Hello.
Hi, are you at Chicago?
Yes.
Yes, we're in Chicago. Correct.
I'm at Midlothian.
Right. I've been to your house. You remember?
What's his name?
To Zuby.
Zuby.
Trent Subi.
But that's your Uncle Charlie right there.
Charlie Bear.
Charlie Bale. Okay. All right.
Close enough.
Go play with your markers, and then we'll be over there in a
Good
bit.
talking to you.
Okay.
Careful now.
This is like remember that movie Three Men and a Baby? It was like two heels and a family. I'm telling you, two heels and a family. That's what this is.
It's pure chaos over here. So thanks
can
for bearing
imagine.
with me.
No problem. We were just getting into a little take no prisoners, a little some of the action that went down. I apparently don't watch wrestling, but I ended up watching that's the news on me. The gossip is that I don't.
It was my commentary debut, guys. Color
I know.
commentary debut right here.
I
You
watched
didn't give
it,
us a
though.
heads up. You didn't give us a heads up.
Hey,
Yeah.
I found out late. I found out real late, about this because Tyler Voles couldn't make it, our main guy, but he couldn't make it. And Joe Dombrowski, who is our I guess one of our, I guess he usually does color because Tyler does play by play. Joe is amazing because Joe does he used to do Ring of Honor. Like he's very, very well respected in the business. And he's been our guy for a while now. So they asked me to join him. And man, I absolutely, the respect I have for commentary after doing it, like it's incredible. Like people want to shit on like Michael Cole sucks or Josh Matthews sucks. Like they're not like as engaging, I'll say, but it is not easy to do this. Like it was, I had such a blast doing it though. Like after the first little jitters and stuff, like if I kind of like learning some of the key points, I got really into it because I got to enjoy it as a fan, So I was like watching the show as a fan and reacting, and like I was standing, I was like, "No, man, just give up, man! Oh my god, what are you doing?" Like I was really into it, man. So
And
much
this is
fun.
definitely a different role for you because as a producer, you don't often actually get to sit and watch the show
Never,
live.
Never.
And then
do I
this
get
time,
to
kind of like it was a combination of all your efforts, right? Being a
Mhm.
fan for so long, producing, doing things that you would normally feel comfortable doing, but then you jumped on the mic and got to be a fan and got to kind of tell the story of what was going on.
It was
So
amazing, man.
once I saw that picture, I don't know if it was Twitter, Instagram, or whatnot, that you were on the commentary booth, I was like, hell yeah! Like I was stoked,
Yeah,
and
it was fun.
I love wrestling, but I haven't watched much. But I am a supporter. I bought 2 tickets for that day, and now I wasn't able to make it.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I bought 2 tickets, and then I was like, well, now I probably have to buy the fight or whatever. Well, no, because you guys were doing Twitch.
You
Right?
can
Well,
use my login, not to take money away from AAW, but
So we did so what I was telling Charlie, what we're doing is the live shows are like TV tapings that lead up to the pay-per-views.
yeah. And what's the frequency of those, just so people know?
It's weekly right now. It's
okay,
weekly.
It's weekly.
So we're taping
People
again this Saturday on the 22nd of May. We'll be back at the Gali Arena taping
Whoop, whoop.
3 weeks of Alive, I believe.
Okay.
2 weeks of Alive.
Okay.
We might chop it into 3, I think. But there's a live taping. 1 ticket gets you in $25 for GA, 40 for front row, but that gets you in for the whole taping. And one's going to be live, like the featured stuff will be live to Twitch, AAW Pro on Twitch, and then will be taped for the following subsequent weeks will be taped. And they will also air on Twitch. So every Saturday, 7:00, we're airing on Twitch. So it's TV taping style, like old school.
And is there a way to go back and watch those?
Yeah.
The only way,
not
not
yet,
on
right?
Twitch.
Oh,
Not
no,
on Twitch.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
we can't keep them on demand on Twitch, but they are on the AAW on demand or high spots. They're gonna they go up there.
Okay.
Yeah, the same week. Like we don't have to with Fight. We have a 2-week delay before aired pay-per-view can go on our on demand. But for Twitch content, it's immediate. Like the next day, it'll be on demand.
Yeah. I'm still learning how to Twitch. I'm just a 31-year-old millennial, and there's like different like cheers and like I don't understand all the chat features, and I'm just like in there and I'm just like I don't know what to click. But so thank you for clearing that up, because some people I follow on Twitch, they do have the videos after, but that's like, but I saw you have a bunch of like free matches. Like there are matches up there, right?
There
It's
are
just
some
not
free ones.
Yeah.
A lot. I'll just the live stuff isn't because there's entrance music and stuff, so we want to be careful with what the DMCA law is because they're very very strict about it. So we take it down. We don't leave it on demand, but like I said, it goes up like the next day on demand, so you can check it. But the live shows, there's so many gems, guys. Like we've changed titles on the live shows. There's new faces, all the new people that we are finding, that we're pulling out and developing as characters is so awesome. It's so much fun. Like this is the stars of tomorrow. Like
and yeah, this is I think this is the 5-6 years ago. Now that we see, people being signed or whatnot, like this is kind of like the restart of all that, especially with AEW, with a company that gives us that storyline, that development, month over month. And now we get to see that week over week for those who don't attend the tapings.
Yep.
So, it's a whole new crop. It definitely, like, even the poster, I'm like, okay, I don't know a few people here.
Right. But get to know them because, like, for example, I'm gonna give you a match that's gonna air Saturday. Is Ren Jones taking on frontman Jossie. People might not know who these guys are, but if you saw their match in the 3-way a couple weeks ago, you were like, my God, like the charisma. You think they're like veteran of the ring, and the charisma is so through the roof. It's like I guarantee these two are signed within years, just because like you can't teach this what they have. Like they have it. They have something, and that match is gonna just tear the roof off of that. Even not even so much with moves. It's like the personality is gonna sell that match. It's amazing. So just stuff like that, man. This is something Danny's so good at, just finding these guys who nobody knows, and it's like, what, we're gonna do something. And as a producer, me, Keith, Mike are just having such a blast developing their characters. It's so much fun.
Jossie once got kneed in the head at Logan Square Auditorium and was knocked out cold.
That's right. On his Fight for the Future match, right? We had a dark match with him, I believe.
Oh, if he did there, I'm thinking of this was a freelance
freelance
show.
Yeah, he did a freelance show too.
Yeah.
So did he get knocked out?
He did. I hope he's not. I hope he hasn't. I hope it hasn't been done multiple times, but it might be, because if you have a story and I have
it's just this gimmick at this point.
He's so good, man. I love him. I think he's incredible at what he does. I'm so excited.
We only ever saw him in a scramble there with freelance, so this gives him. I've never seen him compete in singles, so that's definitely something new for me. Yeah.
this Saturday on Twitch, 7:00, man. Check it out. You'll see him and Ren Jones, and they'll absolutely blow your mind. I'm guaranteeing you right now. These two are going to be on everybody's radar very, very soon.
That's awesome. Yeah, Chris, so we were talking about what the new core is and like, because rebuilding the roster, right? And what the new core is and things like that.
Have we kind of gone through who are the current champs?
Yeah, I can break it down. It's Mance Warner, heavyweight champion still. Very long reign. I mean, that does help having a quarantine year. but
even though, like, I mean, obviously AAW heavyweight champion, but
yeah,
he never stopped throughout the pandemic.
I
think he's one of the few that just kept going everywhere he could.
He never stopped. Maybe the first 2 months tops when everybody stopped, but he never stopped. He even defended our title, I want to say a couple months after, at some other show in Indiana. Looks like he put
I was gonna say Indiana and the South. Maybe we're still running
it. And we even sent referee Nate Speckman to officiate the match before he moved away. So we made sure we had our guy on site. I mean, listen, it sounds
just in case they try to steal the belt and you had to bring Nate in there.
As goofy as it sounds, as carny as it sounds, you still got to be. I mean, you still got to ensure. Like, I mean, honestly, you can't put it past people. Like, some asshole can, I'll fucking roll this guy up right now. And now what are they gonna do? They have to make him the champion. Like, there are people who do that shit,
It's possible, it's possible.
So it's like we got to make sure our guy's in there and it's our title. So
the Indiana screw job.
I mean, for the sake of story, I would have what do we do? Like, who the hell is this guy, our champion?
The Michigan City screw job, brother.
I'm like, who's the Michigan Mauler and why is he our champion? like that goes in a cage match. I'm like, oh shit, like our lineage is so jacked. Like, what happens now, But we did send Nate down. Nate refereed it, and it might have been like a month after. I can't remember. He'll have to. I'm sure Nate will hear this and correct me immediately. But we sent him down to make sure that was done. But the title didn't get defended again till we came back. And then Hakeem Zayn had the Heritage belt for a while throughout the entire thing. He did lose it to Myron Reed. So Myron did get his first singles title in AAW, current champion.
It's been a long time coming for that.
It is, yeah. It has been. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton are our tag team champions. They beat the Besties on the first Alive block in the fall of 20 when we got to have a little comeback for a little bit.
Okay.
And they beat the Besties, so they have that. And they're getting a push as a tag team on Impact even as well. So they're tearing it up right now. And then Statlander was our women's champion. So we shut down because she won it at Windy City Classic 19, but then she got hurt. So she was out anyway. So she couldn't even come back for the Alive block in the fall. So she couldn't do anything. She was hurt. She just came back. We just announced her for June 11th. So Stat will be there to defend the title after a very long time. So,
please, if you ever do, I saw you tried to open the show too, and you were rudely interrupted. But if you ever do any more commentary, can we just not mention the day-long reign? Because to me, like, if they're not defending the title semi-monthly, the day-long reign I know it might sound cool, but it's just like, it means nothing for me because 2020 basically was just a wash. So
what do you mean the day-long reign?
Like, you know how like people will be like 468 day long reign, and it's like,
it's in the books. You can't deny what's in the books.
365 of those you maybe defended it. Like, I want to change that universally, like across the board. Like,
are you kidding? That's a heel's paradise to be like, I was champion for 400.
I'm talking about the announcer, like the fans and the announcers. Let's make it like 8 successful defenses or like 9 to, like, that would be, if you defended the belt eight times, I'd be like, okay. So instead of like, you know what I'm talking about? That's just a pet peeve I have.
I know. Back in the day, like, that was the thing, right? You had, like, champions had to defend the title monthly, otherwise they'd be stripped of the title and stuff. It was a nice little rule in place to keep a semblance of realism at one time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do like that, I mean, I know some indies did like a whole reboot. When they came back, they stripped all the titles and started over again. Some couple indies did that, like some smaller indies, but they did like a full Big Bang kind of thing where they were like, every champion stripped the titles. We're gonna have tournaments to crown new champions on the comeback, which I can see the point of that too, because it's like, you didn't defend it. But then, then the champion the former champions have great heel stories. Like, wait, I never lost my title, so you can go right in from that. So there's a lot of room with that too. You can do a lot with that. Yeah. In our case, guys like Mance never slowed down. He was out there. He was still talking about our stuff. Sure. Hakeem was still giving interviews while we was gone. You know what I mean? Like, we were still our champions are still representing us. It was hard to take it away from them.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying strip them. I'm just saying change how it's
oh yeah, heels paradise, man. Come on. 500-day reign as champion. It's like 3 defenses.
Quick. So I started a timer and we started talking. We're at about 29 minutes right now. I'm definitely not trying to rush you.
No problem.
I don't want to get in trouble from the AAW's finest nurse.
No, we're fine. I got a few more minutes. I gotta start doing some stuff, but no, we're good.
Take no prisoners. Give me if someone's watching this and they only you should watch the entire card, but if give me your best 3 matches from this.
Ooh, all right. Main event: Manson Fred is brutal. I'm talking. If you have a weak stomach, forget it. It's brutal. I was in pain watching it. Straight up, you can hear me on commentary. I'm like, oh my god, I'm pleading with Mance to give up, and I'm part of me is really wanting just end this, just give him the title. Forget, don't keep doing this to yourself. What are you doing?
It was a little bit of shades of JR, stop the damn match. It was your own version
how I felt.
Of that. Yeah,
I felt that, man. I was if there was a camera on me, I'm standing at one point. I'm like, Mance, what are you doing? Oh my god, Perch is pleading with him. Referee Perch is like, no, please, man, just give up. And I was like, shit, just listen to him already.
Yeah, Mantis. He kind of escaped from that.
I love that one. That's a great match. Vega and ACH is a sleeper hit, big time to me. Myron
kept referencing the Vega and ACH. You kept referencing the friendship the entire time, and it was almost it kind of showed through a little bit. And it was a little tit for tat, but it was mostly, I think, pretty respectful. And you guys were mentioning that as well. So I think you guys played into that story really well about these guys are actually really good friends. So it's you sit down with one of your best friends and you're just okay, just for the second, we're not going to be best friends. We'll get a little competitive with each other kind of feel.
Yeah, it's it's true. I mean, there's a realism to that. And the tag team match, which was Dion Roosman and Joe Asa, Infamy, taking on SGC, which is Matt Justice and Manders. That was a fun brawl. It was a Bourbon Street fight, so it was all over the place.
That was we're going to go into the crowd and right away and start doing some shit. Yeah.
That was a fun brawl. I like that one.
There's one of those I feel on every AEW show.
If you're in
Bourbon Street,
you're in Bourbon Street, correct? Sorry,
it has to happen.
It's a Bourbon Street has to happen. Mm-hmm.
I like that one a lot too. That was a good one. Those are my standouts for sure.
Okay.
My standout, two standout guys. I want you to put. I mentioned Ren Jones and Josh C, but keep your eyes on Shaft and Rush Jones. We have 2 Joneses. Okay. I just realized that 2 Joneses, 2 aces. That's funny in this company right now, but keep Rush Jones was a beast, a monster, and he's managed by Chuck Smooth, who's made his return to wrestling after 15 years. So Chuck Smooth managing Rush Jones, who's a complete monster, and Shaft was a complete just death machine, war machine guy. He's nuts.
Okay, yeah, he got the win as well. And I saw Mike Hartenbauer looking like Bull Buchanan. Was that on purpose?
That? Like a rebirth of Mike Hartenbauer here. Cutting sleeves off of his shirts. I like that too. It's nice to see Hartenbauer. He's been a huge help at the company too, doing a lot of stuff. And Johnny Bravo, that scumbag Johnny Bravo, slithering snake son of a bitch, coming in and just stealing talent away. So now it's been a very interesting roster, man. A funny note about John Bravo is him and Danny wrestled each other 22 years ago in Canada.
Damn, wow.
For Scott Demore from BCW. So they had not seen each other in person in 20 years until he came to manage. Now he's managing Alley Catch and everything. So nice to have that full circle in career.
Yeah, man, you need a man. I don't know. When I think AEW, I think of a heel man. I think of heel managers. Yeah. I think it was with oh god, his name is escaping me. The OI4K guy.
Oh, JT Davidson.
Oh. Yeah.
I miss him.
And then there was the guy who managed the guy who's in WWE who managed He's the young guy who was winning a lot. He was like kind of Samoan. I can't think of his friggin' name.
Well, Fatu, Jacob Fatu, right?
Yes, and who's the manager of him?
Oh, what's his? Oh my God, the guy with the cigar.
Estrada?
Escucha, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Estrada, yeah.
So I feel like you guys always got one of those floating around that's like really good.
Yeah, you got to do the whole shtick, try that.
I couldn't even get his name right. So
he's local-ish too. Like he's in Joliet or something. He's not far.
Oh,
from
really?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great too, man.
I know.
Really,
I just
really
think I resonate. Heel manager sticks with me with AEW.
Heel managers is an art. Is an art in itself. So no, guys, I'm serious. Like it is. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, man. Alive is this Saturday. This is Alive taping number 10 and 11. They're gonna be taping this Saturday. So 10 will be live. 11 will be airing next week. But the one ticket gets you in for both tapings. And we might even chop it into 3. So don't quote me on that. But check that out. That's $25 to get you in GA, 40 for front row. And then we actually didn't. I just found out we named the we named the June 11th show, and it's a new name. And I'm like, where did this come from? Like, I got to pull this up for you guys. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, because I was gonna say, Take No Prisoners it's like name. It's the staple. It's like
yes,
yeah, it's like when you're growing up, you're just like, oh, Unforgiven. You're WWE Unforgiven. Like you're No Way Out, or it's just like your Backlash. Like these are just names that just like, oh, this one's gonna be good. It's got to be on the calendar. And it's just like it holds the year together, kind of.
Exactly. They might knock my camera out. I'm sorry if I
you did. You did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hit my. But you can hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hit like this. I have a very loose cord here, which knocked my camera. Yeah. Okay, we're calling the show "Crush and Destroy," which It's a brand new name. Crush and Destroy on June 11th. I'm like, where did this come from? I was definitely not on the meeting where this was where this show was decided. So
because when you think of AAW show names, the posters are always different, but you kind of know what they kind of like the feel of the posters, like, oh, this is a Take No Prisoners poster, right?
Yeah.
But this will be interesting. It'll be a whole new name. Like when the Alive series came on board, like even the look and feel was totally different. So
I loved it, man.
I'm always looking forward to the design of the posters. Like they're always pretty sick.
We got a new guy. We got our guy Nick Consalvo, the camera guy gimmick. He's our photographer now. He's our ringside guy. He does a lot of our graphics. We keep it very in house with our team. We have a very tight team in house, and that's what we do.
Can I mention? I haven't seen it, but as a faithful listener of the BSB boys, you guys have like a screen behind at the entranceway. Like there's a tiny Tron type.
I noticed that. That was sweet.
Tron, dude, it was awesome. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. We had the graphics on there, like the logo, which Brian did. You guys know Brian.
Right, that's where I was going to, because I know that you mentioned that Brian designed all of that stuff.
Dude, what a touch that was. Like the name graphics, I was like, this is so old school, like WWF. It was awesome. Oh shit, I can't think I knocked my camera out again. I have a very loose cord here. A very loose like cable for my.
We need to hook you up with some USB cables.
I had some USB, but I like keep hitting it, but I keep knocking it out. I gotta get
Stop talking with your hands, man.
I know that's what's happening. But
so June 11th, Crush and Destroy, right?
Crush and Destroy. I really want to know where this name came from. Like I was not on the meeting with this. Like
it makes me think of Rusev or Miro.
Was that his saying?
Crush, the wrestler?
The Crush or
Crush.
Yeah.
They go like this or something like that.
I don't know, man. Crush and Destroy. Definitely not something I knew. I was aware of at all that we're naming a show.
Don't boycott the show. Just boycott the name. We'll call it something else.
No, I don't mind. I'm like I'm all for new names on a show. That's fine. It's just like who decided? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, did I miss a meeting where this came up, or like did I miss a text chain where this was decided? Like, I was like, what happened here?
Is your fax machine broken?
Shit, yeah, probably, right. I had one. I used to have my dad had a fax machine in our house.
I believe it. 100%. We're not keeping you, right? So should we wrap it up then? Or you gotta go?
Yeah, let's get going. I do have to get going, do some
for sure.
Okay.
All right. So I guess the date to know is June 11th. That's the upcoming show. That show will be taking place at Bourbon Street, correct?
Yes, that'll be Bourbon Street.
Okay. And then every Saturday you want to tune into Twitch, AAW's Twitch channel.
AAW Pro on twitch.tv/AAW Pro.
Yeah.
There you go. And we'll put in the description as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this Saturday, well, I think by the time this episode is out, I don't think it'll be this Saturday. But just make sure you catch them. You catch them every Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Well, it'll be the
AAW
following,
Pro.
even the following Saturday.
Even the following
so every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
So every Saturday, twitch.tv/AAW Pro, and there'll be some special stuff released in between too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Trent from
we're gonna keep doing. Yeah, basically. So we'll keep doing stuff on Twitch. Like, definitely subscribe to the Twitch because there'll be free stuff coming up.
There you go.
And Trent, where can people hear your multiple podcasts? Your quote unquote new, not so new Twitter handle. I mean, for many years we heard Vanilla Joke, but now it's Trent Seberry, I'm sure.
It's gone.
Yeah,
it is. It's Trent Seberry on Twitter. I'm sorry about this video too, guys. I don't know what I literally knocked this cable out and it won't come back.
This is why it's
a podcast, right? It's a podcast first before a YouTube channel. So
do you guys release it on YouTube now?
Yeah,
what's going on?
We're trying to be like you. We're trying to be like you, Trent.
Man, so I totally screwed this up. but at least the audio.
He doesn't knock it out, when he's with
I know, but I'm doing
other podcast.
It's happened though. I won't lie, it has happened.
Yeah,
it has happened on my other shows. But Trent Seberry on Twitter, guys. You can get me there, and also the Backstage Boys podcast I do with Basil, and Total Nonstop Impact. I do that every Tuesday, Thursday. Backstage Boys is every Monday. We just Backstage Boys talks about production, back behind the scenes kind of stuff for independent wrestling. And then Total Nonstop Impact is we do throwback shows Tuesday, and then the post show for Impact on Access TV on Thursday. And then AAW Pro, guys, AAW Pro on all social medias every Saturday, twitch.tv/AAW Pro. AAWPro.ticketleap.com is all the tickets. June 11th is Crush and Destroy. And if you missed Take No Prisoners, it's on Fight TV. I think it's like $12.99 to order it on Fight TV, so check that out. Or AAW On Demand or High Spots On Demand. Everything, the whole catalog is on there. So
cool.
Check that out.
Awesome.
Cool. Awesome, boys. Yeah, thanks. I mean, Steve, I'm coming for you, Steve. God damn it, I'm coming. I know he doesn't want me to use words like "God damn it," being that he's a man of the cloth. But Steve, God damn it, I am coming for that. For this, the Two Heels and a Face title. I'm going to reclaim this. I'm going to just jump into any show these two are doing just to get an appearance credit under my name, and then eventually the big face off, me versus Steve, the battle of AAW and Warrior on Two Heels and a Face.
We're building towards it.
We are, man. Absolutely, we are.
All right.
Awesome,
you can either drop off or Chris take us home, whichever one.
Oh, I can draft. If you guys want me to drop off, I already dropped my goddamn video off. So
well, I think Chris is gonna wrap us up, right?
Yeah, well, we'll wrap it up, Trent. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for you two holding it down while I got my S together. And as far as Two Heels and a Face goes, you can always check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's Two Heels and a Face. That's number 2 Heels and a Face. You can check out our website, twoheelsandaface.com. And I'm sure we're on all podcast platforms. Charlie, I am not going to let you,
it's all good.
Run through all of those.
You want me to do it? I do it all the time on my others. You ready? All right. Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Link. Oh, rate, review, and subscribe, huh? I can do it for you guys. I got it. Rate, review, subscribe, huh? Get in there, guys. Let us know what you think of the show. Oh, this is your gig. I'm sorry. I do too many podcasts, guys. But I think I named off.
I don't know if Amazon's included in ours.
Amazon is included. Pandora might not be.
Yeah, Pandora's a little tricky, guys, but get on Pandora too, man. You have to. There's a whole new submission process for Pandora podcast, but their reach is pretty good. I would say get it on the ground floor on the Pandora stuff. I'm in fully endorsing this for you.
Would have been better with a video, but
I know, man. Shit. Here, wait a second. Hold on. I'm gonna try one more thing. Here. Wait, one more shot. I'm gonna try.
While Trent tries to get back on, make sure. Whenever you're retweeting this episode or whatnot, make sure you hashtag Viva La Chico. Try and get Chico booked.
Chico? Who's Chico?
Chico the ref, Chico the wrestler, Chico the Chico you should know.
He's going to be an important part of your rebuild, my friend. You just don't know it yet.
Chico, huh? Who's Chico? I didn't know this Chico. Chico Suave.
Yeah.
I need information on Chico Suave, guys.
I mean, now you just gotta take your thumb off your camera.
I know. I'm trying to figure this out. Here we go.
Is this the black hole?
It's not even my primary account. I'll go. Here we go. I'm back. And like I said earlier, endorsing Pandora podcast. I have a bell. People hate the bell. I use it on my other podcast. They hate it. They want to shove that bell up my ass. But the bell signifies that I fully endorse. And I want to meet this Chico Suave. Whoever this is.
Hey,
all right. Well,
we got an episode with him. I'll send it
look
to you.
into our stream. I think it's episode 180 something.
All right. Deal.
So check it out. We'll reshare the link. Get to know Chico. Book Chico. # Viva la Chico.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was good talking to y'all.
Yeah. It's good talking to you.
See you soon.
Later.